the Northeastern New York PGA Fall Meeting. So happy to see smiling faces for a change and be in the room together instead of through our computer screens. So this year, of course, has been another challenging year in the industry from COVID to supply chain issues, and of course, Mother Nature throwing us multiple curveballs. But even with all of these issues, the influx of new players hoping to take lessons, play golf, and visit our facilities continues its upward trend. And through the hard work of everyone in this room, golf is back, and I think it's stronger than ever. Junior numbers are through the roof, and I think just people in general coming out to play, we've certainly seen an increase. As all this is happening, don't forget, we're in a game to have fun. Get out there and play some golf. I know it's at the end of the season right now, but spend some time this winter getting yourself back together, and if you can get south to play a little golf, please get out and do it. If not, join one of our facilities, indoor leagues, and make sure you tee it up. All right, let's get this rolling today. Perfect. You would think through all this, the technology would have gotten better. Okay, today's agenda. Our special guest, Ian Marshall, our District 1 Director, will come up a little bit later, along with Brian Bain and Chris Kolinsky. Rhonda Liddell is here also, our PGA Hope participant. We're going to get through the Membership Recognition and Playing Awards, our section and national reports. Then we'll take a little break, get into our foundation discussions, and then our board member elections. We'd like to thank all of our supporting partners, Satch Sales, PGA National, Merchant Preferred, and Ken Handy is in the room with us today. Thank you, Ken. And of course, Reed Exhibitions. I would like to thank everybody who has sat on a committee this year, been part of our organization, and given us timeless hours and things out of your busy schedules. So just want to thank everybody up here, from our officers to our directors. Thank you. In a little bit, we are going to hear from each of these gentlemen to talk a little bit about the committees that they chair. I think right now we're going to get into our newly elected Class A members. So what I'd like to do is recognize these three individuals, and we'll have you come up, get your service pins, and also get a picture with the three of you. So newly elected on July 2021, Brian Jeffers, PGA, Highland Park Country Club. Anthony Therian, PGA, Brookhaven Golf Course, and Dylan Thompson, PGA, Christians Wyndham House Golf Course. We have you guys around.
Stand in front of this thing.
Guess we only had 2 today, so.
Congratulations.
We'd also like to recognize our newly registered PGA associate, Jason Hughes from Ticonderoga Golf Club. And with 10 years of section service, section membership, Casey Childs, PGA, Scott Berliner, Ryan Callahan, and Terry Vinciano. We'll do a picture, get your service pins. They only have one. Okay, with 25 years of section membership, Mr. Steve Vatter, Sean Bond, Bob Booth, and Noel Gebauer.
Go out in front of this thing. In front of
Okay, now we're talking about the playing awards. The 2021 Sack Sales Hole of the Week winner with 3 under, Mr. Scott Berlinger. Okay. We do have an award for you, Scott, that'll be here by the time you get back from Florida. Thank you. Our Rolex Legends Player of the Year, Mr. John Durkin. And our Rolex Senior Player of the Year, who was also in Florida, Mr. Del Daly. Our Barton Stroke Average winner with a 69.5 this year, also the Assistant Player of the Year and Player of the Year, Mr. Scott Berliner. Great job, Scott. Good help. Yes, definitely a man of few words. Great job, Scott. Really, really proud of you and proud to have you in our section. Okay, now at this time, our Career Services Consultant, Mr. Chris Walensky.
Well, good morning, everybody. It's great to be here. Great to be here in person. Thanks again to the board for inviting me. Really appreciate being here today. So, obviously, it's been a crazy time the last couple of months, almost a year now, 18 months. So, I'm here to just give everybody an update on what we're doing as a team. Our team has evolved a ton at National, and we've been proud to be a part of kind of the COVID education during the last 18 months. So, what we're currently doing is we're focusing on a couple of areas. Our compensation profile is one of them. On your table, this is the year of QR codes, as we often see them everywhere, but on your table is a sheet from me. It has a couple QR codes on it. If you have not yet completed your compensation profile, you can take out your cell phone, you can scan that mark with that QR code. It takes 3 minutes to complete that compensation profile. Now, why is that important? Well, we use this data, and now, more than ever, all the jobs that we're working on with facilities, it's data-driven. They want to know, what does the club down the road pay? What does the club that has similar numbers to us pay their professionals? So it's also very important because the section gets funding based on how many professionals complete that compensation survey. So it takes 3 minutes. It's a lot shorter than the old compensation survey. We've had in our section here that 62 have completed it, 78 have not. We want to get to 60% of our members in every section. So we need some folks to complete that. So again, during the meeting today, take out your cell phone, scan that QR code. It takes no more than 3 minutes. Salary, less than revenue, that that information just needs to be very easy to do. Job seeker profiles. All right, so career links is gone. You used to get notified with an email by career links if a job met your criteria. You have to update it with your job seeker profile now. Very similar setup, just all done through PGA.org. In Northeast New York, 82 have completed it, 58 have not. This notifies you about jobs that meet your criteria. It asks you 5 questions. Where would you like to work? Are you actively seeking employment? What are your minimum salary requirements? And a couple of other ones. Okay, what areas would you like to get notified about? Head professional, teaching professional, etc. So those questions, once you answer those, you'll be automatically notified about jobs that meet your criteria. So super important that you fill out those. The other thing that is important about the job seeker profile is that it allows us to communicate with you, and if you don't get notified about a job, you can still see it on PGA.org. So one of the biggest complaints that we had when we had career links was that I didn't see that job, I didn't get notified about that position. Well, now you can log on to PGA.org and see every position across the country that's posted. We're also working with golf as a whole. We're working with organizations across the country, the LPGA, the PGA Tour, Acushnet, Titleist, TaylorMade, any organization that you can think of in the golf industry, and we're looking to get all the jobs posted in one area, which would be great for golf and great to grow the game of golf. So those jobs eventually are going to be posted on a site like PGA.org or jobs.pga.org so that every member can see any position within the golf industry. All the more reason to fill out that job seeker profile and also complete your compensation survey so that we have that data and can take it to facilities and utilize it. Some of the other stuff that we've been focusing on as a team is executive search. Some of you may have heard of this. We've kind of gotten into the room with the KKWs and the bigger search firms. And the reason that we've done this is to create the connections with the facilities. So we don't charge as much as those big search firms do, but what we do is we leverage that relationship and we leverage our PGA members to say, look, we have the database of professionals. We want to work with the facilities and we want to help you find your next PGA member and employ them at your facility. What that does is that it creates a relationship that we're going to have forever at that facility. And we'll be able to communicate with them, help educate them on compensation for the professionals and what the job is really worth. So executive search is huge. It takes a lot of time as a team. I've got 3 searches going currently. Bellevue is currently looking for a head golf professional in the Syracuse area. So anybody that's interested in that job, it'll be posted here probably this week. I have Niagara Falls Country Club in upstate New York, in my neck of the woods outside of Buffalo. And then in Erie, Pennsylvania, we have Lakeshore Country Club. Great jobs, all head professional jobs that you can see on the job board. Those are paid searches. So those clubs have sought us out. They're going to pay us to help them with their search. When we're involved in those searches, we've influenced compensation by almost $700,000. Another great reason that executive search is working. They're paying us, and we're also able to influence the compensation for the PGA member. So far, year to date this year, our team has influenced compensation by $800,000. That's money for the PGA professionals. So it's super important that if you have questions or your facility has questions about contracts and negotiations, call me, reach out to me. That's what I'm here for. I'm here to help you negotiate that agreement or to increase that salary, to get you a contract, to work on that agreement with the facility. That's really what we do on a daily basis, especially this time of year. As Tracy knows, this is a really busy time from basically November 1st until March. That's what I'm doing on a daily basis, working with facilities and working with my PGA professionals on helping them increase their salaries. So we've been really busy there. The other part that I take up, I head up national recruitment. And I don't like the word recruitment, I like the word awareness. My job is to fill the funnel for the PGA members. We're creating awareness across the country. I was just in Atlanta yesterday speaking at a collegiate event, Berry College. They had 20 schools represented at their invitational. So I was down there talking to the participants about, if you don't succeed on tour, if you don't necessarily know what you want to do when you graduate from college, why not work in the golf industry? So out of the 100 kids that we saw yesterday, about 25 of them said, I'd like to follow up with you. I'd like to know about how to get into the golf industry and how to become a PGA member. So we've done this now for 3 years. I was hired in 2019 to kind of create awareness and start recruitment for the PGA of America. Obviously, 2020 was a tough year. We didn't do too much traveling. We didn't speak at too many events. But in 2019, we reached 12,000 people. So we had 12,000 people that we spoke to. And out of those 12,000, we had 750 that rose their hand. They said, I want to work in the golf industry. So we communicated with them. We placed over 100 people in jobs. In 21, this fiscal year, we've reached 8,000 people. Our fiscal year runs from April to April, by the way. So we've had 6 months of it, basically. We've reached 8,000 people. We've almost had the same amount of leads already. And we're working on converting those. We've had 60 to 70 conversions. So we're having some success, which is nice, so that we're trying to educate people about getting into the industry. I hear about it all the time. Chris, I need an assistant. I need an associate that I can work with, that I can have at my facility. So we're working on that for the PGA membership. We're working to fill that funnel and to find that entry-level talent in our industry. And it's not just golf that's having trouble. We see it in all industries across the country. So know that the PGA of America, we are trying. And I'm the lead on that. And I take pride in it. So we're really trying to get individuals into our industry. PAT passers. So they've relaxed the rules on what it takes to get into the PGA of America and how you can use your PAT. Now, you can take your PAT from a collegiate event, a recognized event, an AJGA tournament. Some of those events are now recognized by the PGA of America, and those count as passing your PAT. So you don't necessarily have to take it, through the section event. You can utilize those scores at those events that are allowed. So we've had 150 of those this year, and our team reaches out to those individuals and helps them find positions and kind of guide them on their career path. That's what our recruitment team does. So again, we're making an effort to educate entry-level talent on all the opportunities within the golf industry. We've had 4 new hires also, as you can see, they're across the country. So they work with me. Leela Mackey's in Philadelphia, she's a PGA member. Kate Drimmel, also a PGA member in Minnesota currently. Dylan Gladney, he's in Texas. He's not a PGA member, but he is a very good asset. He works on D&I recruitment on our team. And then Caleb Hogg is in Washington. So we have to spread out throughout the country so that they can attend events. And I encourage you, if you know college coaches, we can provide that sponsorship dollars, maybe pay for a meal, as long as we have that opportunity to speak. So college coaches, teaching professionals, if you have events at your facility and you think it would be a value added, we would love to be there to talk to the individuals, the collegiate athletes, even high school athletes. We're going to be at our college and high school seminar here in a couple of weeks at Mohawk. So we'll be attending that and promoting the PGA of America and the path membership there as well. With ADP funding, for those of you that don't know, the sections have had to meet some goals and requirements to receive some additional funding from PGA National. I work with Tracy and the board on that, especially when it comes to recruitment. The event that we're going to do in a couple of weeks will help them meet that funding goal, help them obtain that funding. So again, we're working on attracting and retaining that talent in the industry, and we're going to fill that funnel, but we have an education for all PGA members that we're going to roll out probably by the spring to let you know, hey, what are the trends and what can we do on our job postings to attract and retain the talent at our facility? What other non-compensation benefits are out there that you're seeing in the industry or that you're seeing in other industries that can benefit us as facilities and golf professionals to help us retain our assistants, to help us retain our professionals at our facilities. So we're going to roll out an education as a team, career services team, that we're going to present hopefully with the sections throughout the country by April of next year. Again, if we fill the funnel, we can help you guys attract and retain that talent. That's what we're doing as an organization, trying to educate everybody. So look for that in the future. I rolled it out in Las Vegas this year at the show, back in, I think it was August, and it was well received. We're going to try to do that nationally going forward. So I appreciate the time today. If there's any questions that you have for me, I'm going to be here sitting at the table. Please don't hesitate to reach out. You can reach me in email, cell phone, or just after the meeting today. I'll be here for a while. I appreciate the time. Thanks for allowing me to be here. And have a great rest of the season. Thank you. At
this time, I'd like to welcome Ian Marshall, our District 1 Director, to the podium.
Thank you so much, Rich, and it's nice to be back here. I actually took a look, and Noel and I were talking. It was 2 years ago that I was able to come in person, and it feels like things are already coming to an end with me as far as your District 1 Director. I have the rest of next year through November, and then New England will be taking that seat. So it's been a real pleasure serving you, and more importantly, working with this group over here. I know some challenging times were difficult for us the last 2 years or 16 months. And I would say that this entire leadership team and Tracy have done a great job, helping golf professionals in your area succeed. So it's great to be here. I'm going to highlight just a few things that we've talked about over the years, and really I'll start with some fun things. PGA Championships, our Ryder Cup. I mean, what a great year for us as the PGA of America. It started at Key Island with a historic win with Phil Mickelson. TV coverage was way up. It was back to spectator sports. Clearly a lot of excitement, maybe a little bit too much on that 72nd hole, and the crowd decided to go a little crazy. But to actually be there in person and see the energy, I think we're excited to be back out. And again, the Senior PGA Championship, KPMG, everything is moving well, and then we go ahead and go to Whistling Straits and finally win the Ryder Cup, right? And again, being there, the energy, the excitement, I think it's what golf needs, right? We got a little shot in the arm with COVID where we're seeing the increase in rounds and revenue and things moving in the right direction. So I know I'm excited where golf is right now, and I really believe that us as PGA members in our association are in a great spot. So excited about that. I'm going to bounce to a couple too. I'll finish with some more important ones. But PGA Frisco, right? PGA headquarters. It's going to be a place that we're going to call home, right? It's going to be the home of golf. I was at the facility in August for some committee meetings and board meetings, and I was completely wowed. I mean, the facility itself, what we're trying to transform into the home of golf, not only for people to come visit and play golf, but our members, right? We're going to have education there. We're going to have North Texas there. They're going to have, I think it's the second largest putting green in America is going to be there with some retail shops and an ice cream store. And the idea and the vision, Jimmy Terry is out there, PGA member with a ground game. He sees the vision of, a 9 or 10-year-old little girl out there with her parents on this massive putting green that's lit. And she's out there putting around, playing some miniature golf, just regular golf. There's a little par 3 course, eating her ice cream. And then we're going to fast forward 15 years, let's say, and she's going to be hosting up that KPMG Championship trophy, right? And it wouldn't be possible if we wouldn't have this facility that we get to call home. I know for us in the boardroom, and I'm being very honest, I can't share a lot in some of those conversations, no one can attest to that. We're making sure that the PGA membership and the PGA member is first and foremost when we talk about things that we want to accomplish there. So we're making sure that our brand, what we're bringing to the table, isn't getting lost with the other partners that are stepping up to the table. But again, without this vision and what we have, it wouldn't be possible. And we're really focusing on the members. Right now, the golf course is actually, we joke around, it's open for a few select individuals. Pins are in the greens. So they're seeing the golf course, they're really understanding what it's like. Teams working super hard to get this to the finish line. We're still looking at June of 2022 for the golf course. Hotels following right behind it. And if you've never been to Frisco, Texas, that area, it is like the second largest growing area in the country. It's even people, I missed the March meeting, but they said just in those few months, the changes, the growth, the activity. I joked around, we stayed where the Dallas Cowboys practice. And I mean, I watch football, the joke was, when's the last time they won a Super Bowl? You would have thought they won a Super Bowl the last 10 years in a row. So Texas does it right, they do it big. So I'm pumped to have PGA of America headquarters there. We have our annual meeting coming up here in Milwaukee, November 1st to the 5th. So delegates going to be out there again, Northeast New York, New England, and Connecticut. Our district will be out there representing you, right? Representing your voice. And I think the exciting one is, and I'll bring it up, New England has brought a resolution forward to increase the number of section votes from 2 votes to 3 votes. And the simple and short of it is why? They want more members to be heard. They want our membership, the roughly 27,000 whether they're associates or golf professionals. They want their voices to be heard. And truthfully, I can say I'm a good listener. I sit back, I listen, and we had a call last week, and it makes the most sense for everybody in this room if we could have that vote. You know, and you wonder, why am I bringing it up? This room doesn't have a vote, but this group does right here. I know Connecticut has a vote, New England has a vote. So we're going to do our part to try to get this to happen, and I think it'll be great for us in the long run. The other exciting one, and again, no details, but I know this group's going to be thrilled about it, and our membership will be thrilled about it. Deferred compensation. We've been talking about it for a few years now. I believe we are at the finish line with the IRS, where we're actually going to have something in place, and hopefully can announce things officially here next week in Milwaukee. To me, that would be exciting, right? I know the healthcare piece, we always talk about it, but we have not only 41 sections with the 50 states. That's a little bit more difficult. So we really kind of put all of our eggs in this deferred comp issue, and I think we've come to a resolution with the IRS, so I'm really excited to see what happens in Milwaukee. I think the other important one coming up here, PGA show, again, trying to get back to whatever we're going to call normal. That is going to happen on the 25th and 28th of January. Rebranding the logo a little bit and trying to, again, bring forth that PGA and what we are and what we represent. I think last I saw 70-ish% of those vendors that came over the previous years are still committed to come. Again, we know there's challenges, things might change again, but hopefully, you know, if you're available to travel, you want to travel, you feel safe to travel, you can come down and attend that. Again, it'll be the normal program with education along with the vendor portion, but again, I think we all understand that's a great networking opportunity. So I hope to see everybody down there, and if not, I understand that you don't make it. Going back to the last two pieces to me, and Chris 100% hit it, PGA employment. When I was down in Frisco in August, I'm on a couple different committees, but I had some free time, so I said to the committee chairperson for employment, hey, Dave Schneider, you guys okay if I come in and kind of crash your party? And I jumped right in the room and heard a good conversation. What did I hear? They're very concerned about our compensation as PGA member. They're very concerned about the workforce that's going on. So everything Chris just talked about and what we're trying to allow his department to do, the board is pushing this. We really understand that employment is probably our #1 priority right now, right? We need to make sure we have those jobs in place for our members. And I think it's time for us to be compensated, right? I know I joke around. I walked into Taco Bell. I was offered a job within 20 minutes of talking to somebody getting paid $17 an hour. So if you can get a job at Taco Bell for $17 an hour, I think it's time for owners and operators to understand what we're really doing, what our value really is in golf. Second piece with that is PGA membership. I know, again, the board, we talk about it a lot, what's best for the member, what's the most important things for us to focus on as we talk about membership. You know, and I love today we recognize members that have been 10 and 25-year members, and then that extra special 150 years. We feel that that's very important to make sure that that keeps being recognized. You know, and a pin is excellent, but we're trying to elevate that. We're trying to really understand that when you make 25 years of member service or 50 years of member service, when you retire from the Marine Corps, you get a parade, whether it's 1 or 50. Maybe not a parade to become a 50-year member. But boy, can we do something fun, right? Can we get things more excited? So those are the pieces of membership that we're focusing on. Same thing with life member, right? The MSRs that you have to get or don't have to get. I think we're just trying to clear it up a little bit. To reach out to me, my cell number's up there along with my personal email address. Please do not hesitate or call your leaders. And if they don't have the answers, I know they're going to call me. And if I don't have it, I'm not going to make it up. I'm going to call our support system, our 3 officers, Jim Richardson, John Linder, and Don Ray. They're not just friends of mine, they're also the leaders of our association. So, you know, again, great to be here. Enjoy the off season, get your batteries recharged, and look forward to a great 2022. So, thank you so much.
Thank you, Andy. We definitely appreciate everything you do for our section within District 1. At this time, I'd like to welcome Mr. Brian Bain, our PGA Junior League and Regional League Manager.
Thank you, Rich, and the board for a few minutes today. Good morning, everybody. It's last week in New England, we had 4 chapter meetings, and it was such a treat actually being face to face, being able to shake hands, say hello after the few years that we've all gone through. So, pleased to be here. So, I want to share a few updates with you on a couple of things. One, we'll talk PGA Junior League, and then we'll talk briefly PGA.coach. So it's been an unbelievable year. It was another record-breaking year for PGA Junior League across the country and also here in Northeast New York section. So we had just under 64,000 players across the country. Here in Northeast New York, we're up 51%, which is unbelievable. So in 2019, we had 455 players here in Northeast New York. This year we had 734. So it was an unbelievable year. We're still down a few captains from 2019. When we start talking and getting facilities registered, it's late winter. Back in February and March, there was still a lot of uncertainty what was going on in the world, so totally understandable. Tee sheets were booked last year. Of course, we weren't sure if there's going to be any availability out there. So we had 27 captains here in Northeast New York. We had 3 brand new facilities. Brookhaven, Greenock, and the college golf course at Delhi all joined PGA Junior League this year, so thank you to them. The leaders in the section this year, Mike Decker at McGregor Links had 71 players. Anders Madsen at Saratoga Spa had 67. Jeff Betty at Orchard Creek had 58. And new this year with PGA Junior League was 17U section championship as well as regional events. And I think it was probably in June or July, Jeff and I were texting about something, ordering his team kits, and he said, this 17U was something else. He ended up with 25 17U players. So there is a need out there. Consumers are looking for that older division, whether their kids play 13U, they are looking for options as they age out of that. So keep that in mind. And last we had Wolford's Roost at 57 with Andrew Rosenbaum. So thank you to the leaders in the section. Not only did they do a great job, Tracy, Christian, and Zach took on PGA Junior League Spring-Summer program and also a fall program, so thank you for your support there. The last 2 years they've stepped up and done that, and parents are looking. They're looking for this during the spring and summer, they're looking in the fall for programming. Golf is not just June, July, and August activity for juniors anymore. And we've heard Chris talk about and Ian talk about compensation. If you're looking to retain help and for additional compensation opportunities to pay staffing or for yourself, PGA Junior League can help. We sent back, just from registration fees in Northeast New York, $143,000 from player registrations this year. And so consumers are willing to pay. They'll pay anything for their kids as long as it's good and they're having fun. So keep that in mind. Also want to thank, this was the first time in 10 years PGA Junior League's been around that we're able to have a regional event. And we're able to have it here in Northeast New York. So I want to thank the Edison Club, Craig McLean and Brad Gardner. They rolled out the red carpet for us early September on a weekend. Gave us the golf course on a Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So thank you to you and your members for such a great time. We'll play a quick video here of what's coming in 2022.
Inside of us is a need to belong. To belong to a community. To belong to a team. For over 10 years now, kids and families have been finding that sense of belonging with PGA Junior League. And what's been working so well for over a decade is now even better. Yeah. We're talking about the opportunity for year-round golf, an extended championship season, and new technology to make it all simple and smooth to operate. Introducing the Game Changer Club. PGA Junior League players will pay a one-time annual fee to get local league access in as many seasons as they want all year long. Also, players will get a custom uniform and team kit to use across seasons, a digital center of fun games and events, plus opportunities for partners and sponsors. PGA coaches will keep leading kids through fun games, skills, and activities with a renewed commitment to the American Development Model, or ADM for golf. Because being a golfer is more than just swinging the club, ADM applies a holistic approach to playing sports. Whether their desire is to play for fun or to win championships, ADM prepares kids physically and mentally for any sport they choose to play. Now, more competitive young golfers can aspire to the National Car Rental PGA Junior League Championship season. All-star opportunities are for players in both 13U and 17U age divisions, pending eligibility in the lineup for ADM. Making the All-Star team provides the opportunity to advance through sectional, regional, and national championship runs. Now, with more play, more coaching, more fun, more veterans, because we're picking up the All-Star experience. And with the addition of an All-Star leaderboard, regional competitions will grow double the total number of teams advancing, and the championship season becomes equivalent to a single event of kids. How do you ask? By introducing the opportunity for PGA coaches to host All-Star Play Days. It's an optional part of the pathway, and All-Star teams can participate in as many of these as they'd like. Bottom line, we're out to create an experience they'll never forget. To drive it all home, new and improved technology, combined with our website, the mobile app makes it super easy for everyone to keep up with these exciting improvements. To our PGA Junior League community, get ready for more flexibility, more fun, and more opportunities to tee up, get out and play, and learn to love golf. Head to PGAJuniorLeague.com to learn more.
So a lot of big things coming for next year. We're excited about it. You know, we embarked on a multi-year expansion plan that we started last year when we reduced league sizes, trying to create more flexibility for you. We learned a lot last year with what happened going through the pandemic and what was most successful at facilities. And this year with these changes, we're excited about it. And the outcomes that is hopefully going to happen with these is more flexibility for you at your facility to operate PGA Junior League how it fits for you. Whether that's a team of 6 players and you just stay at your facility, whether it's a facility with 50 players and you stay at your facility, or you want to join a multi-facility league with the courses down the street. We want it to be flexible, to be what it works for you. We're moving to more of our things are ADM compliant. This past year, in order to take part in the postseason, you had to be 10 years old. That's what the ADM findings tell us. That's best for long-term athletic development of these juniors taking part. We want to be on the forefront of that and starting that. So this is all for what's best long-term development for these golfers, that they stay in the game longer and enjoy it for a lifetime. So the 3 big changes is one, a new tech platform. For those that have been engaged with us, this has been a pain point for years. This fall was our last year with Sports Engine, thankfully. We built a custom-built website specifically for PGA Junior League, everything that we need. We tested it this past year with PGA Family Cup. We're going to be rolling this out starting next week when we start getting facilities registered for 2022. So it's a brand new website, easier, it's going to be more flexible, give you back more time. You won't be searching for places to go. You don't have to be reaching out with questions to Christian or to myself. You're going to be able to find these things all by yourself, making it easier, less frustrating. The second big tech enhancement is we're going to Stripe integration for the payment. Working through Workday this year, for those that were engaged with us, it was a pain point getting payment to you in a timely manner. With Stripe processing, if somebody has a program, February 1st, players start getting registered. In 2 to 3 business days, those funds are gonna hit your bank account. So you're not gonna have to wait till you order your team kits 2 to 3 weeks after that to get funds. You're not gonna, previously you weren't seeing funds until sometime in June. Now you start seeing funds instantly 2 to 3 days after registration start coming in. Second is the Game Changer Club. We're moving to a membership model that's going to create more opportunities for you at your facility to offer multiple seasons if you'd like. The consumers will pay a one-time fee. We're going to have brand new team kits every year. Before we were on 2-year cycles with the team kits. So we're going to have new designs, jerseys, and everything, all the other swag that goes with it every season, which is exciting. And the third big change is the championship season pathway. So you're still going to have the regular section championship, teams advance to the regional event, and a team from the regional will advance to the national championship. That pathway is still going to exist, but we're adding an additional pathway, so there's more opportunities for more kids to experience the postseason. We're going to create, for facilities that take part, they have the opportunity to create their own all-star days, and those teams, all-star teams, will be able to compete at each other. They'll move up to a regional leaderboard, and the top 4 teams from the regional leaderboard will also advance to the regional. So at the regional, instead of 4 teams and 13U and 4 teams with 17U, there'll be 8 13U teams and there'll be 8 17U teams. So more kids playing more golf. That's our whole goal. That's what's coming in 2020 and 2022. We're excited for this. The last thing I just want to touch upon briefly is, as things are starting to quiet down, PGA.coach. Been around now for a couple of years. We've had 3,800 complete the training. 21 here in the section have completed that training. Currently, Christian with the section office is the leader in the clubhouse. He's received 21 lesson leads from having his profile available on PGA.com. So if you're looking to generate business, this is what PGA.coach is. It's there to help you. It's there to help your business. You can create lesson plans. You become, your profile is public for the general public to see on PGA.com. It takes you 3 hours to complete the training. It's free to complete the training. We were in one of the chapters last week in New England, and one of the leaders in the clubhouse in New England, Tim Reese, up in New Hampshire, he's received close to 40 leads already. And it says it's totally changed his business because he hasn't been have to go out and find these customers. They're coming to him. And then he just simply replies to the email lead that he gets, and he's able to turn that into hard dollars. So if you're looking to increase your compensation, if you're a young assistant looking to grow your business, it's a great opportunity. It takes 3 hours of your time. This Thursday, October 28th, we're having a 1-hour set webinar here in Northeast New York. It's going to be hosted by Jeff Price. He's the Chief Commercial Officer for the PGA of America, and also Ted Logan, who's the Director of PGA.coach. So this is a great opportunity as we head into the off-season to keep yourself relevant, get some additional education. You're going to earn MSRs and grow your business during the off-season so you're ready to hit the floor running in 2022. So that's all I have for you today. I'll be here after if anybody has any questions. And lastly, I just want to say thank you to all of you. You probably don't hear it from your boards, you probably don't hear it from your owners, but thank you for what you've done the last 2 years. You've gone above and beyond, doing things that aren't in your job descriptions, living in this new world that we're currently going through. So thank you. Make sure you take time during this off season, recharge, and get ready for 2022. Thank you.
Thank you, Brian. And if you do not participate in PGA Junior League, I suggest, revenue-wise, it's a great thing for you to do and to keep that pipeline open of junior golfers developing into members. I know personally with PGA Junior League, I've been able to, I only had 13 kids this year, but out of those 13, I have 9 of them signed up for a winter indoor program that it will net us, $5,000 to $6,000 at the end. So yeah, it's very important to keep that rolling. Before we go to our break here, I'd like to let's see, are there any questions from the floor that we can possibly take with us to Milwaukee Milwaukee. Any questions or concerns? We kind of put you on the spot right here, but if we don't have any right now to take with us, please reach out to any of the officers or to Tracy and get it in writing, and we'll certainly pass those along. All right, group 2. All right. So I think now we're going to take our 20-minute break, and we'll get back in it after that. Thanks. We'll get into the details of what's coming up here in another week or so, or a couple of weeks, I should say. On your tables now, we have the form for the 2021 Special Awards criteria and eligibility. If we could take like 3 minutes, in fact, I'd like to do that right now. Take about 3 minutes, and if you could, go through the list there and nominate some of your fellow professionals that worked hard. Maybe some people were not even aware of what they're doing, but please, let's take a couple of minutes and fill that out. And then we'll collect those right up here at the desk. And we'll also have an opportunity later on to hand those in as well. So just let's go about 3 minutes. Okay, if you haven't had a chance to get that filled out, we'll certainly can take it up through the end of the meeting. And any additions that you may want to make going forward, certainly reach out to the section office. Or I think Kevin can always directly. Thank you. So I'd like to talk a little bit about the special awards. And this year will be our first year actually of doing a standalone awards banquet. We thought, as a board that you've worked very, very hard to receive these awards, and we just like a little better recognition of our fellow professionals and what they've done for the section, for their home clubs, and obviously for their own professional career as well. So that's going to be held on November 11th at the Albany Country Club, and we'd really love to see as many faces as we can there. There's an opportunity to buy an individual ticket for that, family tickets, club members, and things of that nature. So please, if you can attend, it should be a great night. We've got a great meal planned and just a wonderful night to recognize our professionals. So at this time, I would like to recognize one of our great professionals and the newest inductee into the Hall of Fame of the Northeastern New York, Mr. Glenn Davis. Say a couple words now, or come on. Put you on the spot.
It is on the spot.
Well, thanks, Rich, and everybody. It is on the spot because I figured I had, November 11th? Sure. I had another, 20 days to prepare. So I'll make it very brief. It's been, I think it's been 30 years in the section for me now. And I see a lot of familiar faces and a lot of new people that I don't even know. Hopefully, I'll be here another maybe 4 or 5 years. But I want to thank everybody, and hopefully we'll see you November 11th, when I'll have a speech prepared. Thank you.
At this time, I'd like to bring Matt Phillips up to talk to us a little bit about the Associates Committee.
Good morning, everyone. Just wanted to recap a little bit about the assistants and mainly the associates from 2021. Our first event of the season was the President's Cup, which was hosted at McGregor, next to Mike Decker, wherever you are, probably at McGregor. We had pretty good participation too. I think almost half of the eligible associates took part. and as well as Mike Bean, myself, and Anders Manson as well, I believe. We're all there to help out. That was a great day. Weather was pretty colourful, but we persevered. And then we did a nice little get together afterwards at Druthers just to sort of feel a little bit of mentorship and shoot the breeze, which was good. Then we, more recently, we had the Silver Dollar last week over in Highland. Special thanks to Jim Jeffers over there for hosting us. Appreciate that. Great food afterwards as well. 3 PGA pros showed up as well and brought teams, which not to be overlooked there. Brian Crotty, Rich Scott, Tim Pedeswa, thank you guys. Had great gifts donated for the raffle from Callaway and Titleist, various golf courses in the area. A bunch of the associates donated lessons of their own as well. That was very appreciated. And I just wanted to touch a little bit on mentoring. That was sort of one of the themes of the year, just having Class A's make themselves even more available to associates. Not that long ago, I was an associate. I was lucky enough to have Brian Perotti and Scott Warren sort of guide me along a little bit until I got my Class A. But yeah, just making yourself available to work with your assistants, put them in positions to succeed, setting them up with other instructors in the area, just to shadow them while they teach, for example. It's a great way for them to pick up a trick or two, see how other people do it, what their style is, things like that. Just get around the neighborhood a little bit, see some different courses. And if any of you Class A's I'm talking to are willing to speak to the associates, maybe in a meeting next spring, just to sort of help get that ball rolling a little bit, let me know. I'm the guy to talk to. Thank you.
This time I'd like to bring the chair of the tournament committee, Mr. Nolan Bauer.
Thank you, Mr. President. Glenn, did you say 4 or 5 years? That didn't sneak by here. Okay. Well, first of all, I would be remiss and certainly would love to congratulate once again Scott Berline on an incredible golf season in our tournament program. I mean, it's become commonplace for Scott, and it's something that really shouldn't be taken for granted. He's an amazing player, and Scott, great job as always, and let's see you keep this thing going. I'd like to thank the Northeast New York PGA staff, Tracy, Doug, Christian, the support staff that was out there during the season at our tournaments, the tournament committee that we put together, also the previous tournament committee under Tommy O. They left us in good shape there. It was a crazy year this year. We had a big learning curve. Of course, losing Doug, and certainly some crazy weather that went on that caused a lot of rescheduling and tough on-site decisions to make. They really just did a great job piecing it all together, and it's amazing that it's over already. But we're going to be working really hard to make it even better next year. And of course, as always, reach out to me, reach out to a committee member with any ideas, concerns about the events. We always want to hear from you. The committee will be working hard all winter, discussing, how the tournament program went and what we can do better next year. The other thing people I'd like to thank are the host professionals that hosted. We put a lot more on you this year as a host professional. Whether it's marking the golf course, pinch hole locations, and just with a couple of blips we had. Other than that, everything went really well in that department. So we'd like to thank you very much for that. We couldn't do it without you. We're going to be setting up the tournament schedule for next season very short, as in like the next couple of weeks. Going to try to catch people before they go south or bunker themselves in for the winter time. So please, if you'd like to host an event next year, please reach out to the office, reach out to me. If you would like to, or keep your phone on anyway if we call you, because we certainly like to move things around the section. Obviously, the golf course selection is sometimes important for the success of the tournament. So if we're calling you, that means we think you'd be a great fit for a tournament program. So let's see if we can keep this rolling. Also, not just for our tournament program, but also for the PATs, also for the junior events, we're going to be calling, looking for host sites. So we'd love to get this schedule set and just about ready to go by New Year. So other than that, looking forward to certainly the awards dinner, and I hope everybody has a great winter. There's a lot of indoor opportunities to practice and get the game ready, so Rich, get ready for me. I obviously need more work, so you've seen a lot of me this winter, and everybody have a great season. Thank you.
Okay. See if I can get this to my height. Good afternoon, good morning. I guess it is still morning. It's so great to be back to a little bit of normalcy and see everybody in person. It's been, we're talking, the end of 2019 fall meeting when we were able to gather as a group. So this is a very refreshing change. I know I'm not alone, and it's been said a couple times up here, right? I feel like we're at the finish line and we're at the end of the season, and it is very welcomed. I know everybody has been going extremely strong, and although we're definitely going to slow down, we go into a different busy mode, right? We go into our governance and planning, and similar to you, so we'll still be available. Obviously, we know your membership is extremely local, so if there's a touch point or you need something from us, we're definitely there. Please reach out, and our committee chairs and committees have been incredibly active, so we're super thankful for that. And as Noel had mentioned, our staffing changed this year, and it was definitely a learning curve. Big thanks to our staff, Christian and Zach, who came on board. We were super fortunate to have Grace Cochin with us during the summer season to help with our junior tournaments. Josh D'Amatos came on, did some communications and marketing pieces for us that certainly his ability and knowledge with software let him do that we couldn't do. So we're very fortunate to have all of them. We appreciate your patience this year as we learn the nuances of blue golf and everything that it can do, that we don't really have that complete knowledge base. So we know next year going into those operations, things that took a little longer will take a little less, and everything will get a little bit smoother. So very thankful for my staff, and while I'm up here, I wanted to say congratulations to Christian, who just got married last week. To his I have an excellent boss to let you get married during fall season, by the way. And moving on, really finances, the reports are on the back end of your member login. As Chris said, right, this is the QR codes. We didn't print all of the reports. We printed a couple reports that you'll find at your tables. We'll continue to send some emails that roll through each of our section reports and our foundation reports. I know we're going to get into a conversation shortly. But for a small section, we're sitting in a very strong position. Obviously, our investments, just like your own, right, this year had a little bit of ups and downs. But we're sitting very, very strongly and feel good about it. That makes me hit on a little bit of the ADP additional funding that Chris had also mentioned. We talked about it in the spring, right? We know there's 3 core areas in education, employment, and player development that PGA of America has said to us, right? Here's some things that we want to raise the bar in, raise awareness in each of these areas. And we have some tasks in each of those that we need to hit. Some of those obviously require your help, so when we're reaching out to have you fill out the employment compensation, not only is that the right thing to do, right, it helps your members and it helps us educate the employers as we go in. For us, that's additional funding that is, it's big to our section to bring in the Graces and the Joshes to help make all of those operations on our end improved for you. So, like I mentioned, I know Kevin Kane stepped out. I was going to hit on education for a minute. We do have some upcoming education programs. The PGA.coach seminar that's coming this Thursday. It is a webinar, so at your convenience, you can log on. It will be 1 hour, well worth an hour to learn a little bit about it if you don't know a lot about PGA.coach. Kevin is working really hard right now on a teaching and coaching summit. He's got a couple leads on some people that we're going to bring in, hopefully in the spring, weather be told if it's going to be indoors or outdoors. And we also have a Golf Professional of the Year conference coming up. You mentioned early December. That will also be a webinar. I know we did a couple of those, forced into them for COVID, obviously, but great response from our members, hopping on Google Meet and acclimating to that. It's at your convenience and your schedule, so we will be sure to bring a few more of those to the table. And as we get into the foundations, I'll turn it over here shortly. I know it's brand new. We didn't really have the opportunity to launch it per se. It's definitely more work on our end. We hope that our members really take hold of the foundation. It's extremely refreshing. I'm sure just like many of you, having done your job in your position and your responsibilities for a certain amount of time, for us, the foundation brings something that is refreshing, and it is new to our section operation. And it brings with us, right, a lot of gratification because of what the foundation can actually do for people in our community through golf, through our section, and through the foundation. So I'm looking forward to that conversation. I hope it's an active dialogue. As I mentioned, we're certainly here. If you have any questions, I know we'll do some Q&A. But thank you. I hope you all get to recharge your batteries a little bit. And I know for our indoor facilities, you're all gearing up. But I look forward to seeing everybody in the winter. And if you have any questions, please reach out.
We'll get into a little more of the foundation conversation in a few minutes. But if you don't know what the foundation really is, and it is our foundation. It is all of the members of the Northeastern New York PGA. It's something that I think we were a little late to the table in the big picture out of the 41 sections. I believe there were only 3 at the time that did not have foundations, and Mike Bean certainly spearheaded that and really made sure that got off the ground. And right now, I think we're in a pretty good spot, but we can touch and really impact a lot of lives through this foundation that we weren't able to do through regular section funds. So, those 3 pillars: our military pillar, our youth pillar, of course, the junior golf, and our diversity and inclusion pillars. Well, those 3 encompass what we can, the lives that we can certainly touch upon with this foundation. But it's not limited to that, but those are definitely the 3 that we like to earmark the money for. So.
Sent a much better version of that poem out to the big PGA Reach people, and they shot back at me and told me to contact Mr. Torres over there with nothing but an angel in my life. I'll read that I hope he's helping our patriots everywhere. And I believe I've been helped, and I will continue to help others. Feel the same that I feel when I get to go out there. My story. Well, I was in the Navy for about 8.5 years. I was only the 3rd woman in the Navy to get accepted to EOD school. If you don't know what that means that in 1988 I was GI Jane. Okay. I couldn't be a SEAL. It was the closest thing I could do. It was crazy hardcore athletics. But a drug driver hit me when I was in my own car. And I don't remember that look in my eye, but it changed everything. After that, I got out and tried college, and my PTSD and my TBI were catching up with me. And I ended up just being a mom and having 2 kids, single. And they're great young adults. They get back to the community, they go and make college. My son even got to come to my second time at PGA Hope there at Colony and learn to play golf with me, which really helped me to connect to my son on an athletic level, which is something I never thought I would be able to do. Because I sat still for so long, I didn't know I qualified to be an adaptive athlete until 3 years ago, some years ago. Then my daughter went to college, and it was just me and my pup over there. And I decided that I needed to continue to live my life out loud and move and feel whole. And the only way I honestly felt like a whole Rhonda again was to move and to swing a club and to walk a course. It's just beautiful and peaceful out there. So that's what PGA Hope. That's what I think PGA Hope should do for other people. How's it affected my life? Okay, I just got off a high of going to PGA Hope at Catholic School. I've only been home for a week now. I spent 5 days in DC and learned all these talking points that I still don't have memorized, and I feel like a little bit on the spot, but I'm going to try to stay calm and get through this. If I had to sum up what PGA Hope is to me, PGA Hope gave me a passion in life again. And right now, I just want to breathe in and see it and be it. Right? I just want to be in the middle of it, and I want to make sure that I'm bringing other people who need this kind of experience in their life as well too. That is what I want to do with this platform that Christian and we're able to give me. Hopefully, I'll get more articulate as my public speaking engagements grow. My experience at the Congressional, I got to eat oysters. And short rib on the bone. They treated me like I was a princess. It was amazing. I don't expect I'll ever be treated that way again in my life. But to be with 20 other veterans of such great caliber, and it was just amazing. And now I have all this information that I need to share, and I'm doing my best. Let's see. I'm not even close to 15 minutes here. I want to urge you all that are in a position to help other veterans like me to learn. I never thought golf was attainable. Let's just put that out there. Okay? Middle class, I'm a single mom. I don't have golf fees. I didn't even know I could afford golf clubs. But to have somebody say, you don't need anything, just come along once a week for 5 or 6 weeks, however long I can make that happen. And you get 2 hours to learn how to swing and just to hang out with other like-minded veterans is a whole big peace of mind that I don't think you'll ever understand was just handed out to me or my fellow veterans. It's an amazing, amazing thing. I managed to get some clubs lent to me, but they were men's clubs and they were way too long for me at first. And I swing one-armed. I don't know if you got that in those pictures, but this arm pretty much just tucks in my belt loop right here because I will dislocate my shoulder swinging a club. So I swing one arm and I started out swinging righties because I'm a right-handed person. But I learned quickly that left-handed clubs were better for me. And then last year, Christian helped me look up a set of affordable clubs, and I play with USA Kids clubs right now. But you know what? That's all right. They're ultra light, and I can actually swing them. I think when I went in that golf thing where it can read everything you're doing, it said that maybe, I know it sucks, but I swung about 60-something miles per hour with my one arm. And anyway, to make this known and a pathway for other veterans who might enjoy this. Really might enjoy this is my goal. And I don't know what else to say. Is there any questions? Can I take questions? Yeah, I would love to answer any questions. Do you have a question?
Sorry, buddy.
Awkward. I'm sorry, I'm an enlisted person, so I don't.
Thank you.
What was that? 5 minutes?
It was good.
That was perfect.
That was good. Right on time.
Let me tell you this about PGA. I'm playing at the Congressional. I got to play the entire 18 holes with Mr. John Linder and Don Reed. And my partner was Judy Alvarez. What a day. Okay. And can I take a picture of you all so I can put this on? We have an ambassadors Facebook page where we share information and encourage each other to do our best job at things like this. And I don't feel like I was able to accomplish that today, but I promise I will get better, just like golf. So I would just like to take a picture of the room real quick. Okay.
Come get in. She's coming. She's coming.
Ready? 1, 2. Got it.
All right.
Thank you, and I'm sorry for my stuff.
Rhonda, thank you so much for sharing that with us. We definitely appreciate it. And I come from a very large military family, so definitely thank you. So, a couple of things within the foundation. We certainly have starting to give back at this point in time with 2 Doug Evans Memorial Scholarships that will have those recipients named in the next day or so. Junior clubs through the very jamboree and tournament. We certainly have given clubs to facilities in the area to help them out with junior golf. And then our fairways to success. So in saying that, there's a couple of things. I mean, what I'd like to see all of our professionals do, if possible, is please, give back to the foundation so that we can help continue and grow these programs even bigger. I know I started to put together a long drive contest that I thought was quite unique, and actually holding the finals of the long drive contest on the runway at Fulton County Airport. Not many people get to hit the ball down the runway. I did do a short little piece with Chris Honorado up on there, and it's pretty cool. If you can hit the runway, it's really cool. But if it goes wide right, it really goes so far. But anyway, that being said, I'd like to, and I'll send some more stuff out to everybody here in the next couple of weeks, but what I'd like to see happen, and I believe that we can raise $60,000 to $80,000 pretty easily if each of the professionals at their home club, and listen, you don't have to have a long drive contest, you can do any kind of fundraiser you'd like to do, but we'd like to see that number be somewhere around $500 per club. to smaller clubs that might, 500 might seem like a reach, but, even putting a can out on the counter that we're, doing this to benefit our veterans and our junior golf and our diversity inclusion would certainly help a lot. But my vision for that long drive contest is to have local qualifiers at your club on any given Saturday or Sunday, qualify 5 people. And within the section, if you could qualify, the number would actually be staggering too. It would be about 500 participants would qualify in this. And if they're, if we're at $10 a person for that 5,000, that gets the ball rolling. And then the rest of, if you had a member that wanted to donate to the program, we certainly would take those donations as well. And those final qualifiers would then end up at the airport and share a day with us, like a long drive party. We'd have the music going, the bleachers, all the logistics are done. We just need your help in trying to get this thing off the ground and just have a fun day. And I truly believe that we can certainly raise that kind of money for the foundation, turn it into an annual event, and then eventually we would have somebody within the section that would be the head of that foundation and really get this thing off the ground. I mean, there's foundations across the country within the sections that are not just hundreds of thousands of dollars, but millions of dollars that they've raised. And I'll tell you, one of the most touching things I've ever been a part of, I believe it was the Denver section a few years ago at the annual meeting, had actually given away a house to a wounded combat vet. And I got to tell you, there wasn't a single dry eye in that hotel. So I'd like to see us get Northeastern New York on the map with that and just hold some great fundraisers. And you can see we have some different ideas as well, but we just really need your help. So if you want to reach out to the section staff or call me, send me an email, I'd be more than happy to get this thing moving. Do you have any questions on the foundation or ideas that we can throw out there to help this become your foundation, which it is your foundation, but really get you to be a part of this? Is there anything out there that somebody like to share? See, Rhonda, it wasn't just you. It's crickets.
Rich, can I share?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
I can say up here.
Thanks. So PGA Reach, I had an experience this year. We have a young man in the community, his name's Dan McMillan, 16-year-old boy, who's diagnosed with Ewing sarcoma. They've already taken a leg from him, and unfortunately the prognosis is not good. But we were able to spread some sunshine. He's an avid golfer, and Dan came by, and we fit him for a set of golf clubs and a nice custom Callaway golf bag this past summer. And I was proud of the section for finally providing an outlet for us to be able to do that ourselves. In golf, as we all know, we've met incredible people that have helped us with these kinds of things in our life. And it was nice to finally be able to give directly ourselves, and that was because of the REACH program. So REACH paid for those golf clubs as well as the golf bag, and I got to tell you, the experience, it was a couple of days. So it was the fitting, and then again for the pickup, and then we played golf on a third day a couple of weeks later, and we threw the fishing rod in the golf cart because he loves fishing too. And we got out and we got through 4 holes, and he said, Mr. Tavares, he goes, I think that might be it for today. And I said, well, it's not it yet. We have to go see if we can catch a fish. And I happen to know a spot where we're pretty good at catching fish. And don't you know, on the second cast, Dan threw his rod in, and I have this awesome picture of this huge bass that I almost dove in the water to get out to make sure that we brought that on land. And the conversations that I had with him after that day and after that experience, we did something special. And Rhonda, don't worry about articulating. Keep it raw, because that's real. And the situation with Dan was very real, and this is a way that we can touch. And it became very apparent not only the joy and the things that we can do, but the need for us to be able to do that. And this is a wonderful conduit for that. So anything we can do to help support that, I have some ideas of my own. And Rich, I think you have some great ideas as well. But this is good stuff. And thank you all for the efforts that you put into it. I know it's been trying. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Anybody else like to share anything or have any ideas, questions? Ian?
I won't come up, but it's a small enough group. I know for this section, a foundation is a new thought process. It's at its infancy stages. It's up to the room, right? We've been fortunate enough in Connecticut. I've been involved with the foundation for probably 16 years now, and in easy efforts, I actually did a little golf match with another golf club, 2 pros versus 2 pros. Over 10 years, we raised just under $100,000, right? It was easy and it was fun. Just last weekend, we stood out of par 3 and just asked for donations. We had 88 players. We got $20 from everybody there. On top of another 10 guys says, we'll drop a check off, right? Once you get the ball rolling, it's pretty easy, right? The next piece was, you'll never know when you're talking to somebody outside of your circle and you meet somebody that wants to do good and has a checkbook to write a check. We've made some amazing partners just by thinking about who you know in the area, who's in your region, who's partners, who's business. And again, you're new at this, but the more that becomes the commonplace and everybody's doing this together, I'm telling you, the story, like Peter said, it's going to start happening all over the place. And you're going to be able to do a lot more and a lot more and make an impact. So this is great stuff. And they know here, leadership, call other sections, call other golf professionals, work together. Because even $1,000, $2,000, it's going to mean something. And every year, right, your pledge should be trying to just do that every year. So keep up the good work.
Thank you, Ian. Anybody else? One thing I'd like to add to that also, I'm very fortunate, we have a great recruiting office right in town, Johnstown, that the 4 branches of the military, actually, their recruiters said, if you need help with these, we'll come dressed in uniform, we'll sit out on the hole for the day. So if it seems like a staffing issue or something to hold something like this, reach out to your local recruiters. Give me a call. I'll have those guys make the phone call for you. But they're more than happy to help, and it's a good day for them to interact with the public. Okay, I'm going to bring up Mr. Matt Daly to preside over our elections today.
So real quick, everybody, thanks for coming today. Just want to thank Craig McLean for his service. He's going to be exiting the board. He served his 2 terms. Craig, it's been a pleasure serving with you. I learned a lot in all the conversations we've had. It's been awesome talking with you, and we really appreciate your service. And
Thank you for that, I appreciate it. I didn't know if I was done or not. But I tend to resurface. Kind of in light of what's just happened here, talking about PGA Open and things we can do, it just, I think it reminds all of us that we are a conduit to a huge number of people with a huge number of resources. And we really are empowered to do a lot of things because we have contact with all of these people. So, I think as people have shared,
at our club, single-handedly, Brad Gardner's raised, $180,000 in 3 years by building it up and building it up and building it up for Folds Pond, which is, obviously another, theme of military and supporting the military and scholarships for those who have served. So I would really, I'd really just like to pile on to the encouragement that you just don't know all the people you know who you can greatly influence at your clubs and your facilities. They look to you to be influenced, and they will do shocking things for you if you ask and you're responsible about it. So I'd encourage you to do that.
Very good. Craig, thank you. And Rhonda, thank you. Peter, great story. Awesome what you did. So we have 3 open positions for the director at large seat, 1 term for a length of 2 years. The procedure must have nominations be made from the floor and receive a second to be an official candidate. So at this time, I ask all non-eligible voting members to just please move to the back of the room. If you're a Class A member in good standing, a light member, or a past president of the section, you may participate in the voting. Thank you. So I believe we have some nominations from the floor, and this will serve as the first call from the floor. No?
Yeah, I'd like to nominate the current board members, Jim Beauregard, Aaron Teal, for another board term.
Okay, you noted that Eric Teal and Jim Beauregard have been nominated. Do we have a second? Do we have any other nominations? First call.
I'd like to nominate Jeff Betty.
Okay, Jeff Betty has been nominated. Second? Second. Okay. Mr. Walcott?
Is Craig McLean eligible to run again?
He is not.
How about in the future?
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, this is the second call for nominations from the floor. All right, third and final call. Any more? Okay, so by acclamation, I will cast my vote for the candidate since there is no opposition. So congratulations to Jeff Betty, Jim Beauregard, Eric Teal. Thank you very much.
And at the conclusion of the meeting, definitely would like to have all 3 of you come up for the swearing-in process. And we'll do that shortly. All right, well, we would like to thank certainly Peter Tavares and Saratoga National for hosting our meeting once again at this fine facility. Thank you very much, Peter. Okay, without further ado, lunch will be open shortly, and we'd like to thank everybody for certainly coming out today and sharing this with us. And I think I love the in-person stuff. The talk that we get around the water cooler is invaluable, and it's great to see everybody meet some new faces today too. So thanks again, and we look forward to having a great winter, and we'll see you guys hopefully before the spring. Thanks.
Never let this go. It's great.